Random experiment and random variable. Today we'll discuss about the statistical averages. So the first one is expected value or mean value of random variable. So expected value or mean value of random variable is nothing but expectation of x, which is equal to integral minus infinity to infinity x f of x dx, and this is for continuous random variable, and this expectation, which is equal to summation xi probability of x equal to xi, is for discrete case, that is discrete random variable. You may also write along with me, that is expected value or the mean of random variable is nothing but expectation of x, that is integral minus infinity to infinity s fx of x dx, and this is for continuous random variable, and expectation of x, which is summation xi probability of x equal to xi, it is for discrete random variable. In random variable there are two types of random variable: continuous random variable and discrete random variable. Discrete random variable is obtained by taking the count, and continuous random variable is obtained by taking the measurement, which we have discussed in previous class. So this is the expectation value or expected value or the mean value of random variable. You may note down, the expected value of random variable is nothing but it's the average of values that the random variable takes in large number of experiments. So this expectation is nothing but this is average of the values which the random variable takes in large number of experiments. This expected value or the mean value is nothing but average of the values which the random variable takes in large number of experiments. So this is the expectation formula for expectation of x is equal to minus infinity to infinity x fx of x dx. So this is for continuous random variable, and this expectation, which is the summation xi probability of x equal to xi for discrete random variable. Is that clear? Is that clear? So going on to the next statistical average, that is variance. Variance can be defined as you may also note down, variance is defined as V of x is equal to sigma x square, which is equal to expectation of x minus mu s the whole square. Here mu s is the expected value or the mean value. So substituting for mu s is nothing but expectation of x, which is the average value or the mean value. So expectation of x minus substituting for mu x, that is e of x the whole square. So expectation of x square minus expectation of x the whole square. This is the equation for variance. You may also note down, variance is nothing but sigma x square, which is equal to expectation of x minus mu s the whole square. Here mu s is nothing but the average value or the mean, which we have discussed. So substituting for mu s, expectation of x minus expectation of x the whole x square. So this can be also written as expectation of x square minus expectation of x the whole square. Variance give the spread of the density function. This variance give spread of density function. Yesterday we have studied PDF and PMF. So the variance give the spread of density function. If the variance is small, if the value of V of x or variance is small, it indicates that the random variable is concentrated around its mean. That is, the random variable, if the random variable is concentrated around its mean value, the variance will be small. And if the variance is large, then it indicates that the random variable is highly spread. That is, the variance give the spread of density function. That is, variance indicate the spread of density function. And the equation for variance is sigma x square, where it is equal to expectation of x minus mu s the whole square. Here mu s is nothing but expected value or mean value. So substituting for mu s, that is mu s is equal to expectation of x. Here we get expectation of x minus ex the whole square, which can also be written as expectation of x square minus expectation of x the whole square. So depending upon the value of variance, that is V of x, if V of x is small, we can say that the random variable is concentrated about its mean. And if the variance is large, we can say that the random variable is highly spread. Is this okay? So next we will discuss about the properties of this both statistical average, that is expectation and variance. You may note down these properties. First one is expectation of Cx, where C is a constant, is equal to C into expectation of x. Whereas in case of variance, variance of Cx is equal to C square into variance of x. This is the first property, that is expectation of Cx, where C is a constant, can be written as C into expectation of x. But in the case of variance, variance of Cx equal to C square into variance of x. Now going on to the next property, that is expectation of C, that is expectation of a constant is C. In case of variance, variance of a constant or C equal to 0. And the third one, expectation of x plus C is nothing but expectation of x plus C, whereas in the case of variance, variance of x plus z is nothing but variance of x alone. So these are the three properties of the statistical average we have discussed, and this section is for mean value or average expected value, and this section is for variance part. And here the expectation of Cx is equal to constant into expectation of x, and whereas in the case of variance of Cx is nothing but c square into variance of x, and here expectation of constant value, expectation of c is nothing but c, and in case of variance expectation of c is 0, and third property is expectation of x plus c is nothing but expectation of x plus c, and variance of x plus c is nothing but variance of x. Is that okay? Next, we will discuss about moment of random variable. Let x be a random variable and k be a positive integer, and c be a constant. So, the kth moment of x, the kth moment of this x at point C is defined as expectation of x minus c whole raised to k. So the moment of random variable, here this is the equation which gives the moment of random variable. Here x be a random variable and k be a positive integer and c be the constant. Then the kth moment of x, that is the kth moment of x at point C, we get that expectation of x minus c the whole raised to k. That is expectation of x minus c the whole raised to k. Is that okay? Moment of random variable. And next one is moment about origin. Here, considering the kth moment, mu k dash is nothing but expectation of xk, where k equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Now we will go to the central moment. The moment which is about its mean is called central moment. That is the moment about the mean is called central moment. So the kth central moment can be defined as mu k, which is nothing but expectation of x minus mu the whole raised to k. This equation is similar to variance if k equal to 2. That is, variance is the second central moment. if k equal to 2, this becomes second central moment. How? Because we have seen that in case of variance, v of x equal to expectation of x minus mu the whole square. This is the equation for variance. So this resembles the equation for kth central moment in case of k is equal to 2. So when substituting k equal to 2, this resembles to the variance. So central moment, if k is equal to 2, central moment become the second central moment. Is that clear? Is that clear? Now we will move on to the next topic, that is random process. A random process it is nothing but a rule which we assign to a time function to every outcome or result of a random experiment. A random process is nothing but it's a rule which we assign for a time function to the every outcome of a random experiment. It is also a model that is used to characterize random signal. So a random process is nothing but a rule that we assign to a time function to every outcome of random experiment, or it is also a model which is used to characterize random signals, such as in the case of communication, noise, fade, etc. We can model them as a random process. So in order to characterize the random signals, we model them as a random process. Is that clear? So here we can consider a random experiment with the sample space. So consider a random experiment with the sample space consists of the possible outcome of a random experiment. So consider a random experiment with the sample space S. If the time function x of ts is assigned to each outcome of sample space, or each outcome of S which belongs to sample space, and where T belongs to this parameter set. T is known as parameter set. Then this x of ts is called as random process. This x of ts is the rule which we assign to the random experiment. So consider a random experiment which have a sample space S and a time function x of ts is assigned. X of ts is the rule, or the x of ts is also known as the random process, and it is assigned to each outcome of sample space. S belongs to S and to the parametric set T belongs to T. This random process is also known as stochastic process. So, random process is nothing but it is a rule which we assign to a time function to the every outcome of a random experiment. So, here we consider a random experiment which consists of a sample space S and the time function x of ts is assigned to each outcome. This is the rule which we assign to each outcome of the sample space S and the parameter set T. So, x of ts is called random process and it is also called as stochastic process. Is that clear? Is that clear? So, the stochastic process or the random process is a collection of random variables. This is nothing but a collection of random variables like x, x of t, y of t, etc. The values assumed by x of t are called state. That is, the values assumed by this x of t is called as state. And set of all possible values of the state forms the state space of random process. A stochastic process is nothing but a collection of random variable like x of t, and the values assumed by the x of t is known as state, and the set of all possible values of the state form the state space for random process. Is that clear? Is that now we will move on to the classification of random process. The random process can be classified into 4 types depending upon the value of S and T. So, the random process can be classified into 4 types depending upon the value of S and T, where S is the sample space and T is the parameter set. So the first classification is when if both T and S are discrete. If the both S and T are discrete, then the random process is called as discrete random sequence. That is, if the both S and T takes a discrete value, if both S and T are discrete, then the random process is known as discrete random sequence. Here we can consider an example. Here Xn represent the outcome of nth toss of a fair die. Then Xn, where n is greater than or equal to 1, is a discrete random sequence. Here both T and S, here the sample space are discrete in the sense that for a case of a fair die, there will be 6 samples. That is, it is a this is taken by counting, not by measuring. So the fair die can have sample space as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values, and the Xn represent the outcome of n toss of a coin. Then the parameter set Xn is n greater than or equal to 1, which may be a discrete value. The parameter set also is a discrete value. For the nth toss, what will be the value? For the nth toss. So here the parameter set T also takes a discrete value. S also take a discrete value like 1, 2, 3, 4, any one of that. So here both T and S are discrete, hence it is known as random sequence. Hence the random process is known as discrete random sequence. Is that okay? So the next type of random process, if T is discrete and S is continuous. If T is discrete and S is continuous, T discrete, S continuous, then it is called as continuous random sequence. That is, if the T is discrete and S is continuous, then the random process is called as continuous random sequence. Example, if Xn represent a temperature at the end of nth hour of a day, then Xn can take value between 1 to 24, that is 24 hours in a day. So the Xn here is a temperature, which is a Xn here is a temperature, and a hour of a day is the nth hour of the day is the T, that is the parameter set which is discrete and which can take values between 1 and 24, and hour may be like 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So it can take discrete value, and temperature, this is a continuous value. It can be like 1.2, 1.3 or 35, 35.3 like that. So the temperature is so the sample space is continuous, which is the temperature value, which is a continuous value, and the hour, which can be, it is between 1 and 24, which can take values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a discrete value. So this random process in which the t is discrete and s is continuous is known as continuous random sequence. Is that clear? That is, and next, third type of classification is t is continuous and s is discrete. And this is called as discrete random process. The previously discussed two were random sequence. Here there is a change. This is the random process is known as discrete random process. This is when t is continuous and s is discrete. That is, it consists of x of t. That is, t is a continuous value, is the number of telephone calls received in the interval zero to t. Here t can take any values. So the interval is a continuous value and s is discrete in the sense the number of telephone call. It can take value like 1, 2, 3. It can't be like 1.2 telephone calls which can be received in a second or a minute. So the s is discrete in the sense that here the telephone call can be, they can take one telephone call, two telephone call at a time, three telephone call at a time, like that. Here the interval or the range is continuous. That is, since the t is continuous, the range is continuous. T can take any value. S is a discrete, like it's the number of telephone call taken. So this is nothing but a random, discrete random process in which t is continuous and s is discrete. Is that clear? And last classification is both t continuous and s continuous. This is known as, this random process is known as continuous random process. Here x of t is the maximum temperature at a place in interval 0 to t. Here t is continuous in the sense that the interval range is 0 to t. T can take any values, so it's a continuous range. And s is continuous in the sense that maximum temperature. The maximum temperature in between this interval can be any temperature like 34 degrees Celsius, 34.5 degrees Celsius. It can take any value. The sample space is a continuous, is in the continuous range. So when both t is continuous and s is continuous, the random process is called as continuous random process. Is that clear? So once again, in order to understand it better and in order to avoid the confusion, if sequence and process We can classify the random process as discrete random sequence, continuous random sequence, and discrete random process and continuous random process depending upon the value of t. That is, if t take discrete values, then the random process will be a sequence process. And if t takes a continuous value, then the random process will be a continuous process or random process. That is, if both t and s, if t is discrete, s is discrete, then the random process is called as discrete random sequence. And if t is in here t is discrete and s is continuous, then it's called continuous random sequence. Whereas when in the case of t continuous, if t is continuous, s is discrete, then it's called discrete random process. And if t is continuous and s is continuous, it's called continuous random process.